Welcome back to Cigar Time, your Tuesday night show, everything to do with cigars. And we have a wonderful panel assembled. Kind of looks like the same group from last week.
Yeah. I think we are.
I'm even wearing the same underwear.
Right?
Same hat.
That's a little too much information.
We have our...
It's a lot too much.
To my left, that you cannot see, but unfortunately we can, we have our mystery smoker. To my right, we have Rob.
Hi, everybody.
To his right, we have Paul.
Hello?
He's going to be in the factory today, or in some country, not sure where. To his right, we have Scott.
Hello.
To his right, we have the lovely Miss T.
Hi.
And today for our first cigar, we're smoking the Eduardo Edición Especial. This is one of our series of Eduardo cigars, and my esteemed colleague, Rob, will tell you all about it.
This is a Dominican Puro. It has a Dominican filler, binder, and wrapper. Very smooth cigar.
It's the one that has the black and silver band on
Right
That is
here.
correct. Black and
Nice
silver.
Black and silver.
the front of the cigar.
Here's the black and silver band. Okay. And well, let's get some comments about this cigar. Mystery smoker, start it out.
Well, I think this is the mildest of the Eduardo blends. It's very good. It's got a nice smooth flavor. It's a little sweet, and it's a very good, mild beginning of the day cigar. I like this cigar.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Oh, no, I like this cigar. I agree with you.
Wow.
Wow.
No, it has a really nice taste, maybe because it is a Dominican Puro. I'm not sure. I agree with everything the mystery smoker said. It's a good cigar. Love the band. Very nice, sexy band. And the construction is good. It's a good cigar.
Now, I just want to stop there 1 second. Paul, would you please tell the lovely Miss Tia what kind of wrapper's on this?
I don't know. It looks like an Ecuadorian Connecticut, which makes
That's what I mean. It's
it's a Dominican
wrapper.
Connecticut.
Dominican.
No,
It's a Dominican
Connecticut. It's a
That's
Puro.
rare.
Connecticut wrapper.
Dominican, Ecuadorian, Connecticut.
I don't know. It's
Not
just
at all.
something different. It just
It's a
doesn't taste like a
Ecuadorian.
regular
No,
Connecticut.
okay. I just
Yeah.
wanted you to know that you're smoking.
You know, I don't
a
like
Con-
Connecticut, but I like
I
this
know.
one.
I
You
tried.
see how
brought-
it's
That's why I
different
brought it
cigars
up.
have a different flavor? You know?
Yep.
You know.
That's why there's vanilla and chocolate.
Well,
Okay.
that makes
I
this
just
a
like to see
very,
you shake
the
around a
fact
little
that it
bit.
has a Dominican Connecticut wrapper makes
Very
it
unusual.
very unusual.
Thank you.
Well, that makes sense because I get some unusual flavors, like flavors you don't normally get on a cigar
Yeah.
from this. I definitely get a aroma and some flavors of tea. Not this. Like a black.
You only hear it here.
Like a
folks.
black.
What are you doing?
Yeah, jump right out of that.
Pico. Also, a little bit of hint of clove and some spice at the beginning. It's unusual flavor, something I don't find in any other cigars. Really enjoyable.
That's why we make them.
I'm sweating now. thanks.
Absolutely.
Black tea.
By the way, this is made in our factory in Santiago in the Dominican Republic. Paul?
It is extremely mild, but it does have flavor, and it burns beautifully.
Yeah.
It does.
Look at the ash.
Mine's
Rob?
I like this cigar. It's very good. I usually don't like Dominican Puros. Like Paul was saying, Dominican is not known for its wrappers, but this is
Especially Connecticut.
right, especially Connecticut
Yeah.
wrappers. But this one's very good.
That's why I
Has a
brought
lot-
it up.
Has a lot of taste to it. I like
It
it.
does.
It's a great cigar. When you filter in the fact that it's $4.50, it's a wonderful cigar. So let's rate it, shall we? Mystery Man?
I give it a 4.5.
Miss T?
4.5.
I'll give it a 4.
Or
4.5, absolutely.
I give it a 4.5, which makes it a 4.375.
Nice.
Nice. 4.50. $4.50, sports fans?
Do we make these in
except in New
Gordos?
Jersey.
Yes,
Oh, yes,
we
we
do.
Wedding store doesn't have any of these.
Well,
Just,
we'll make
just
sure they
gotta
get
point
them.
that out to you.
It's hard to keep certain sizes in stock. These things sell so darn fast. I didn't want to say damn, so I said darn.
Okay. You said damn.
Oh, I did?
Oops.
Okay.
Somebody did.
I think it's time for us to introduce our
First
second
cigar.
cigar.
Do we really
No,
have to
this
put
is
this
our
one
second
out,
cigar.
though?
Second cigar.
I know.
I know. I don't
Yeah.
even want. No. We do want the Camacho. Okay, forget it.
Yeah.
All right.
The lovely Miss Teresa will bring around our Camacho Corojo.
Yes, our second cigar is a Camacho Corojo. Thank you.
We'll take a few more puffs on
And
this
has
one.
it's a Honduran Puro with a Corojo wrapper. The sizes are a Bellicoso, Churchill, Corona, Gordo, Robusto, and a Toro. The flavor profile is sweet tobacco, nutmeg, and hints of raisinette and chocolate.
No
Now-
goobers?
Ooh, no goobers?
To
I
go
was
with the
about to ask you,
Raisinets.
what does the sweet tobacco mean?
Well, there are breeds of tobacco that are very sweet, and they give off a sweet taste, but it's not like a sugared taste. It's like a
Okay.
tobacco taste that's sweet.
Almost like chewing tobacco, sweet.
Look at
Yeah.
this band. It covered. Now this is something you got to take off. Look how big.
Well,
and
unless
thick
you
and
only wanna
fat the
smoke an
band
inch of
is.
cigar.
I know, right? You got to
It's
take
a
this.
beautiful band. They
It
reblended
is.
this whole
The
this whole
line,
line.
right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, even the box is beautiful
Box
in
is
this
very
case.
What's the
nice.
scorpion for?
That's their new logo.
Oh.
And they're common in that part
What was
of
their other
Honduras.
one? Wasn't it like a bullhorn or
Yeah.
something?
They are.
Yeah.
Wasn't their old one a bullhorn? Their old
Bullhorn?
their logo wasn't always scorpion, was
No.
it?
No, only since they reblended and repackaged the whole line.
This company is owned by Davidoff now.
That is correct.
Let me taste this.
So what's our first topic?
I'm lighting my cigar. Don't be
sorry.
bothering me with
I'm
topics
sorry.
and
Got
things.
dead air.
My God.
What's the topic for today?
Well, I think we should discuss this. We've never really discussed this. Why are certain cigars very rare and very difficult to get?
And why do we limit them?
And why do we limit them?
We limit them so everybody can get one. I knew that answer. That's all I know. No.
You're right on the ball there, T.
Yeah.
No, because don't they only make them certain times of the year? Isn't certain cigars the way they make them? It's rare. It's
Well, they
rare.
don't have enough tobacco to
Yeah.
make millions of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's something they only make certain, you're right, it's like the añejo, they only make, well, they only just distribute them one time a year, and, you know, Pasex, they distribute 4 times a year if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
And yeah, we limit them, and I tell people, well, you know, why can I only get one of these? And it's because if I didn't limit them, they wouldn't be there right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody would come in and they would buy all of them.
The whole box.
In a day.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think some cigars are rare because I think they create them to be rare.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna
I
ask you
think
that.
part of it is marketing, but
The Opus 6 would be a good example of that.
yeah,
The
it
añejo,
is.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
the añejo is
not-
rare for a different reason.
Right.
Right.
But
And
still.
it has to do with a lot of tobaccos. I mean, they don't have an awful lot of the certain quality of tobacco, so they can only make X amount of cigars.
That's true.
And sometimes it has to do with the way they make the cigar. And the añejo is actually a good example of that, in that that tobacco has to be aged in oak barrels for a long time before they make the finished cigar.
How long?
I want to say 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just don't have that much tobacco at any given moment that's been sitting in a barrel for 7 years.
Well,
They have to-
I
they
got
have
I
to-
got a question about that. When we were talking about aging tobacco, didn't you say they were daily or weekly? You had to rotate them because they would overage or they get warm and they have to stop the process and
That's
start it over?
fermentation.
Yeah.
That's not aging.
Well-
Those are two different things.
So what do they, when they age it, what do they do different? Keep it at a cooler temperature so
They
it
do
doesn't
keep
heat
it
up?
cooler. They don't let it heat up. They don't add humidity to it to keep that process going. So when you're just aging the tobacco, you want it to be stable. You just want it to have time to develop. And if it develops in the presence of certain other flavors like oak, and in their case, I believe they're cognac barrels.
Sherry.
So I thought it was sherry.
Sherry barrels.
Even though it
Sherry
doesn't
casks.
get tasted, it doesn't get the flavor of the sherry, it interacts with the sherry and the oak, and that helps it develop a really unique, smooth, rich flavor. And so that's why those are rare.
Right.
There are companies who just make rare cigars, like La Flor Dominicana. Comes out with rare cigars all the time.
Yeah, like the small batch.
Small
Yeah,
batch,
small
right,
batch.
exactly.
As does General now.
General starting
General
to,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, also
Exactly.
certain brands
Yeah.
has a very small
You've
batch.
got like the Alec Bradley Fine Rare.
Right.
And that
Yeah.
one's rare because I think it's 10 different tobaccos goes into that cigar.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like
So they
that.
just, I mean, there's a limited amount, and they can only make so many because of
Right.
the amount of tobacco that's
Only so much
available.
tobacco, right.
Right.
Well,
And I think some is just, you know, you get some that are just, you get higher quality tobacco.
And then there are cigars that are rare because they stopped making them a long time ago.
which goes right into my comments.
Please.
I have a surprise for everybody.
Uh-oh.
About 18 years ago, General Cigar, through its Partagas line, introduced the 150th to honor the 150th anniversary of Partagas. They used wrapper that at that point was 18 years old, and they made a very small quantity of these cigars, less than 10,000 of them. Obviously, they sold out and have been gone off the marketplace for many, many years. The company recently, in the last few months, found a very small supply of them, less than a few thousand of them. And we were fortunate enough to obtain 4 beautiful humidors filled with 144 in 3 different sizes. These cigars are now 18 years old. The wrappers are 36 years old. And the retail price may not be for everyone.
Or anyone.
Well, no, we already have a few people.
Not for me.
We have 4 of these chests. We'll try to feature them on an upcoming show. But the chest contains 3 trays, 144 total cigars in 3 different presentations. And the retail price on this beautiful humidor filled with these now 18-year-old cigars is $10,000. And again, not for everybody.
Remember, if you remember, you get a 10% discount.
Yeah, if you remember, that's right. 10%
10% discount if you remember.
Hey, that's $1,000.
Not all our stores will, we only have 4 of these chests. That's all we could obtain. We sort of cornered the market in them. And we will maybe take them from store to store just so people can see what they look like. These cigars are, you know, the creme de la creme of cigars in this country.
With the possible exception of some pre-embargo Cuban
Well,
cigars, these are the rarest cigars
yeah.
there are.
And most pre-embargoed, having smoked enough pre-embargo Cuban cigars, most pre-embargo Cuban cigars by now, the oils are pretty much evaporated, and they're not quite the same taste they were. They're very smooth, very mild. Some even old Cuban strong cigars are mild by today's standards. But these cigars, as I still have some of my own stash from the original supplies, are just breathtaking, breathtaking.
They are.
You had
I
one
mean,
for
it's-
the
I mean,
show.
it's-
It's an absolutely incredible cigar.
I recall giving you one recently. On,
Yeah,
do
you lost
have
a
one.
bet. Yeah.
yeah.
I won
Yeah.
that.
Was
Did
my
you smoke it yet?
Yeah, that one you got to wait for a very special time, man.
He's not going to smoke that till his hair grows back.
what on his head?
These cigars were recently sold, when I say recently, a few years back, were recently sold in the sizes that we have, upwards of $75 to $125 a piece, if you could find them. One large mail order company in Florida had a small batch of those that they had been selling for a number of years at very high prices. And the rareness and the quality is just breathtaking, as I say. And if you ever got a chance to stop by and see them, it's a treat to behold. The humidor itself is just a work
gorgeous.
of art.
Yeah,
It's
it's awesome.
gorgeous
Question,
humidor.
does it have the Ramona Ramones in it as well?
No, just the 150s.
That was part of the original batch. It came
Okay.
in those boxes
Wasn't
that had the
sure.
Ramones on one side and the 150s on the other
Yeah.
side.
I have one of those.
But these cigars are, let's put it this way, there were a lot of love put into these cigars, and the Coleman family, which owned General Cigar in those days when these were bought, you know, go back over 100 years in tobacco in this country, and still today own and control a lot of the seed tobacco that's rolled for wrappers, made into wrappers in the Connecticut Valley in this country. So these are cigar, let's put it this way, cigar masters extraordinaire that have made these cigars. And Benji Menendez, who will be retiring this year from General Cigar, I mean, we may be doing an event with him in some of our stores just featuring these boxes. And I hope you all get a chance to see them, and a few of you lucky ones will get a chance to buy them. So
Benji's an interesting guy.
Benji is a very, very interesting
He's a cool guy.
So I think it's time now for us to go into the factory with Paul.
I'm out in the country
out in the
again.
country.
Oh, you're out in the country?
He's worldwide.
Oh, you're in the country, and this week you're in Honduras, I think.
Yes, I am.
Well, tell us all about it.
Well, interestingly, Honduras has been a center of the tobacco industry since 1765. What happened back then is the king of Spain established the town of Santa Rosa as the clearinghouse for all tobacco trade on the mainland in the whole New World. And so tobacco business has been going on there forever, virtually. A Aside from Santa Rosa, there are a couple of other areas in Honduras that grow some very good tobacco. One is the El Paraiso province, which is where Danlí, the heart of the Honduran tobacco business, is. Near there is also the Jamastran Valley, where they grow all kinds of wonderful tobaccos. And there's an area in central Honduras called the Talanga Valley that has its own very unique tobacco. And in fact, the tobacco there is so distinctive that they even grow it a different way. They use a method called encallado. And essentially, where most countries will put the cheesecloth tents over the fields to keep it out of the sun, there they grow it in the sun, but they put up the cheesecloth tents vertically because it's very windy in the Talanga Valley, and it keeps the wind off the plants. It's the only place that they do that. The development of cigar companies in Honduras is a little different than it's been in the other countries for a couple of reasons. First of all, unlike the other countries, Honduras hasn't had any big revolutions or political upheaval until very recently, but they didn't have the kinds of upheaval that you saw in Nicaragua or even the Dominican Republic. Also, because it was originally established as a cigar center by the king, the government has been supporting the cigar industry in Honduras pretty much throughout its history. They weren't stalled by revolutions like they were in Nicaragua. And again, as is so often the case, the big names in Honduran tobacco came there from Cuba after the revolution, and they include some names that you're likely to have heard before, like the Plasencia family. Nestor Plasencia is such an enormous grower of tobacco that he actually grows in his various plantations more tobacco than the entire country of Cuba.
Wow.
Another famous family that's been growing tobacco in Honduras for a long time and making cigars is the Iroa family. And the Iroas are, in fact, the people who created the Camacho brand. And they are also the family that first brought Corojo seeds out of Cuba into Honduras. And they still have what's called the only genuine first-generation Corojo on the market today. Some other people you might have heard of that were big in the foundation of Honduras as a cigar country, Frank Laneza and Estilo Padron from Villazon, and Rolando Reyes from Puros Indios. I lost my train of thought.
Wow.
That's all right.
That's the first time that's ever
Well,
happened.
you're entitled to at your age, a senior moment.
Yeah, well, yeah.
One of the things Rob and I years ago, we went to Honduras, and one of the things I thought was the most unusual is I expected it to be like Ireland, like plush and green and everything. It was like a desert.
It was.
It was very barren. I don't know if this was because we were there in February.
Yeah,
well,
it
yeah,
wasn't
that
the
has a
rainy
lot to do with it.
Yeah, you weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We weren't there in the rainy
planting
season.
There were fires everywhere. And,
Yeah, it was the dry season.
and the roads are.
Well,
There are no roads.
Interesting.
There are no
you know,
roads.
Interesting.
when people compare the industry of growing tobacco in Honduras versus Nicaragua, they say there are two fundamental differences. Nicaragua had a revolution, but they have roads. Honduras didn't have a revolution, but they don't have roads. And they really have virtually no infrastructure of any kind there.
They have one red light.
In the middle
One
of
red light.
Danlí.
In the middle, right. There's one red light. You're driving down the street. There's no cars, no nothing. You're driving, all of a sudden you have to stop because there's this one stupid red light. And then
And-
you're sitting there because there's no cross traffic. You're just sitting there waiting. That's crazy.
One of the greatest things, if you go to Honduras, there's one nice hotel in Danlí. I mean, it's not nice, but it's nice
Right.
compared to
Compared-
whatever else
yeah,
you're going to
whatever.
find. And they have a little veranda, and out on that veranda, every afternoon, everybody in the cigar industry gathers together and they sit and sip rum and smoke cigars and share war stories going back to the boom and before. And you can learn so much about cigars and about the business by just sitting on that veranda with these guys and shooting the breeze. It's really fantastic.
I just have to say before you keep going that Honduran tobacco is my favorite tobacco.
Is it?
It is my favorite.
Very
My
interesting.
favorite.
That is interesting.
The other cool
Why
thing
is that? I love the taste of it. Maybe because it has. Does most Honduran have sweet tobacco, or is it?
It tends not to be quite as sweet as Yalapa tobacco from Nicaragua, but Yalapa is right on the border with Honduras, and just over the border is one of the areas where they grow a lot of their tobacco.
What were you going to say, Scott?
Something smart.
No, no, no. It was very intelligent. No, they have these lizards. What the hell?
Iguanas.
Iguanas, yeah, yeah.
Like squirrels. We have.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're everywhere.
I just thought that was
It
fascinating.
is very funny.
They're
And
also
a monkey.
tasty.
They actually are squirrels in disguise.
Yeah, it must
They're,
have been.
they're green, scaly squirrels, and they taste really good. If
Yeah,
you
they
Sure
do
they
taste
do.
well.
and
You need
the
a
eggs
lot
are
of
good.
them to make a meal, though.
that a
Well, no,
delicacy?
some of them are big
of them are
enough
pretty
that
big,
you-
As
yeah.
big as this table.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
I've seen one
yeah.
big as this table, yeah.
God.
Yeah, they're more like the Gila monsters.
Were you guys scared?
Yeah,
No,
they
I
were
was.
scared.
I wasn't. He walked behind
He
me the
jumped
whole
into
time.
my arms. What are you kidding? What are you kidding?
No, if you're
did
in
make you
if
turn
you're
on
in
the light.
Honduras, the things to be scared of are not the
Not the
iguanas.
iguanas.
They're more likely to be the
Yeah.
some of the people.
Yeah.
There is also a whole new growing area in Honduras that was pioneered by an old Cuban family named Endemano. The area where they grow is way, way east. It's on the border with Nicaragua, but it's way east of everywhere else that they grow tobacco. And the town is called Trojes, and the Endemano family has been breeding and creating new tobaccos there, breeds, crossbreeds, and hybrids that have never been seen before for about 12 years now. And not only do they grow those tobaccos, but they also have their own factory and an enormous leaf processing business back in Danlí, and they make some phenomenal cigars. In fact, their factory, Raíces Cubanos, makes many of the best Alec Bradley
Bradley,
brands,
Right.
including the new Raíces Cubanos brand, which I was actually witness to the initial blending of 10 years ago with Romay Endemano, who's the old man of
10
the
years
family.
ago?
He started blending that
Wow.
cigar 10 years ago.
Wow.
So that's it for Honduras. for
That's
today.
it for Honduras. Okay, that's easy.
What about the
airport?
airport? Well,
Landing.
it's
Are
the
you-
scariest
Is there an
airport I've
airport?
ever
Is
landed
it
on.
little?
Tegucigalpa?
Tegucigalpa.
Tegucigalpa.
Ah, so
Obviously,
close.
none
Try
of
to
you
say
have
that
landed
3
at Lake
times fast.
Tahoe.
No. This is the
Or
worst
Mexico
place
City.
ever to land in. It's crazy.
It's all between mountains,
Yeah.
and you basically have to land vertically.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Lake Tahoe, Lake
And
Tahoe,
the
Lake Tahoe.
wingtips are about, what, 3 or 4 feet over the
Yeah.
above the
roofs of
homes.
houses?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Yeah.
I will also tell you that while
of these on the
most
way
of the
down.
people of Honduras are lovely, lovely people, when you go to the airport and you land in what they call Tegus, what everyone will tell you is get out of the city as fast as you can. It's borderline the most dangerous city on earth.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I actually
of
knew
dangerous-
someone from Honduran.
Speaking
They
of
came
dangerous
over.
cities, I think it's time to review our Camacho Corojo.
Oh, it is.
Mystery smoker?
I didn't get that one.
Well, if you take a look at the Camacho Corojo, it's got a rich dark brown wrapper, which is a classic Corojo wrapper, and basically it was originally developed by the Camacho, the people that had
Your Rojo
Camacho, the
family.
Rojo family.
Christian,
So,
yeah.
and that's
His
them.
dad.
It's very good. It's got the beautiful design. It's a beautiful constructed cigar. It smokes wonderfully. You know, and I find about a third of the way into the cigar, it really, really changes and really gets real nice and rich and delicious.
Miss Tia?
Well, I didn't get that far, but this is a great cigar. Again, it's Honduran, so I love it. I mean, I think a lot of cigars that are made with Honduran are great. Hoyo de Monterrey, stuff like that. So I love those cigars. This is a great cigar. I love the
Yeah, you
band,
knew that was coming.
and it has a little scorpion. I think it's just a great cigar. It's a really good cigar.
Scott?
I used to really like the Camacho back when, you know,
I didn't.
when we actually visited. It was one of my favorite cigars. In fact, the 1118 Diploma was my favorite cigar at the time. I thought it changed over time. And now that they have reblended these and repackaged them, they're just fantastic. I get a lot of the flavors we described. When I first, before I lit it, definitely got that sweet tobacco. I mean, that was obvious. It was very evident. The nutmeg and the hints of chocolate, I definitely get. This is a really, really nice cigar. They did a fantastic job of redoing everything.
They did.
Paul?
First class work, a delicious, delicious cigar.
Rob?
I agree with Paul and Scott and Miss Tia.
Thank you.
This is a fantastic cigar. I was never really a Camacho fan. Even when I went there, when Scott and I were there, I liked them. They were okay. But ever since they reblended this cigar, it is absolutely fantastic.
I think it's a lot smoother, and it's not.
It is. What's the
it's
body
not
on
as earthy
this?
tasting. It's got a lot more. It's got a lot more sweetness to it.
Yeah.
What's
I
the body?
really like it. Yeah.
I think it's
Beautiful.
more refined. It was a little rough
Yes,
Right,
in its
exactly.
earlier versions,
Right.
and that's all gone.
But I
It's
don't get the
definitely
medium
gone.
to full. I get a nice medium in this.
It's very
It-
nice.
I think
Very,
it's
maybe so
really
smooth.
Yeah.
As
It's so
usual,
smooth.
I can't really add much to this. I
You
mean,
will
right
have
out of the box, you can smoke these. You don't have to age them. It's a great cigar, and ergo, let's get our ratings.
Solid 4.5.
Watch this. 4.75.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll go with our mystery smoker with a 4.5.
Paul?
I'm a 4.8 on this one.
Ooh,
Wow. Wow. I would agree with Tia. 4.75.
this is my lucky day.
It's
I
your
don't
lucky
know.
day. I give it a 4.75 as well, which gives it a 4.71 and a third.
Thank you,
Very
Paul.
Who's the third?
Well, upcoming next week, we're going to be reviewing the
Partagas Black Label.
Yes.
Yeah.
Partagas.
I even have a
Label.
lighter, Partagas lighter. Check that out. Gorgeous.
And we may be able to show you one of the boxes, the huge chest of the Partagas 150s, talking about Partagas.
Yeah.
That might be a good time to have it side by side with the regular Partagas.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Works for me.
Very
Sounds
nice.
good to me. And again, I want to thank all of you for watching. We're not quite ready to leave yet, but we want to encourage you to go to our website, which is cccigars.com.
That's cigars.com.
And please leave your comments, criticism, anything we can do to make your experience watching our show more enjoyable.
If you have any questions, also ask us any questions. We'll
Feature on the
we'll
show.
feature on the show. We might be able to get you a Cigars T-shirt or something like that.
Maybe
Or
a mug.
give
Or
them
a mug.
something.
Mug.
Or a mug.
A
Ooh, a
mug.
Yeah,
mug.
that'd be nice.
You know,
A
we also-
genuine Cigars mug.
Yeah.
Everything tastes better. If
You gotta
drink
love
out
it.
of a cigar
You
cigar.
gotta love
And
it.
smoke one of the cigars while you're doing
Quickly,
it.
we also have our own YouTube channel, which is, if you go to YouTube, it's Cigars. You can see these repeats of these shows and cigar reviews.
You can get that off the website, right?
Absolutely.
Which is, again, cccigars.com.
That's double C, cigars.com.
I think the mystery smoker likes saying that's double C.
He does.
You see his face light up when he says, "Ugh."
He definitely has a voice for television.
Yes, he does. And a face.
That's why they
Well, again, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next Tuesday night at 7:30. No switching the channel. And on behalf of all of us, I'll say goodnight and let the panel say goodnight to you too.
Bye-bye for now. Thanks for watching, Dad.
So long.
Smoke often and smoke happy.
Ciao for now, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.